What's up, poker players? Hope you guys are out there crushing the tables. Just finished up this session, little bit over 40 bucks in a little less than 3 hours, just trying to lock up my spot on the Beast leaderboard so I can win that ticket into the PC satellite tournament. Had another big session last night as well, 175 bucks in that session. Had a pretty productive win rate of 3.11 and have a bunch of hands to look at from these two sessions. Over 6,000 hands between the both of those sessions. Let's jump right into it. From the session last night, we have what I believe is the largest pot of the 100K challenge so far, and probably the largest win of the 100K so far. We have pocket kings on the button. We have an under the gun raise to 3x, folds around to us, and we 3-bet to $10, and we get a call from the small blind. The under the gun raiser also calls. We see a flop. There's $31 in the pot. Flop is 9 high, not looking too good for the aces, and of course our kings are way behind. Checks around to us though, and I put in a bet of $14, a little less than half pot, and we get check raised by the small blind. The under the gun raiser also calls, and this one threw up a little red flag to me, but it's only $14 to call here into a pot of over $100. So I do make the call, and we hit a king on the turn. There's our money card. The under the gun player jams all in. I figured he probably hit a set of 9s or 7s, probably would be betting and then calling a pre-flop 3-bet with. I'm not going to get rid of top set here. I'm feeling great. Call, see that we were up against a set of 9s and pocket aces. We came from way behind and hit our miracle king on the turn, and we take down a pot of over $262. That was big time, you guys. Second biggest hand of the night came with this one. We are at a 50 NL table. We have pocket 9s in the big blind. Under the gun raises to 3x, and under the gun +1 just calls. Folds around to us. We make a call in the big blind, and we flop a full boat, 9s over 8s. I'm just checking back here, and under the gun player bets 226. Under the gun +1 calls. I just call as well. The turn is a 3. I check back again. Under the gun checks back, and this time the under the gun +1 player bets 550. I think we can put in a raise here and try to get some value from these hands. So I put in a little bit bigger than a min raise, and under the gun +1 calls. There's now 34.53 in the pot, and this player has a little bit less than that in his stack. I'm going to just jamming here and trying to get this player's entire stack in the pot, and he does not fold. He makes a call with pocket kings, and we take down a $101 pot with a full house 9s over 8s. This is an interesting hand. We are at a 100 NL table. We have pocket 9s in the small blind. Under the gun +1. This guy has been pretty crazy. He's got a pre-flop raise of 57% and a VPIP of 80. Extremely high and loose numbers, you guys. He's got a 3-bet percentage of 50%. This is a very, very small sample size of 31 hands. We can still make some judgments of how this player plays though. And our pocket 9s is going to be ahead of a ton of his raising range here. So I 3-bet from the small blind to $17. And I see that this player hasn't folded to a 3-bet yet. And we're going to try to pot commit him here with hands that he would have, like ace 4. And he jams all in. We're calling here with the pocket 9s. See that we're up in a good position with the 9s against ace 4. We are at about 67% pre-flop until he hits his ace. Then we're coming from way behind, but we got it in a good spot, and we just got unlucky here. Back to the 100 NL table. We are sitting at a table with all regulars on it. Not the best table to be sitting at, but trying to get points for the leaderboard, and there's always a chance with 3 open seats that a fish or someone that we could target sits down. Under the gun makes a min bet, and we 3-bet from the small blind with ace king. Under the gun calls. We see a flop. Heads up. There's $15 in the pot, and we flop top pair, top kicker. I just check back right here to a player who has relatively high fold percentage on the flop, and we have a pretty good hand here with top pair, top kicker. Under the gun checks back. We see an 8 of diamonds on the turn. There's now a few more draws out there, so I bet $8, a little bit more than half pot. I think we could maybe maybe get a middle pair or one of the draws to stick around with that bet sizing. And the under the gun player calls. There's a 9 on the river. Again, I'm going to try to put in a bet sizing that one of the middle pairs, like a jack, maybe pocket 10s, would call with here. We're probably not going to get a call from any of the draws that missed. This player has a low bet percentage on the river, so he's probably not going to put in many bluffs either with the draws that missed. So I think our best play here is to try to get some value from those middle pairs. So I bet 14.72, and this player does call. We do not see what he had, but most likely he had maybe queens, maybe jack, ace, maybe 10s. But I think we played that one pretty well. It wasn't a huge pot, but I think we got as much value from our ace king here as we possibly could. Now we're at the 100 NL table. We have pocket kings in the small blind. The cutoff raises to 3x. The button 3 bets to $7, a little bit larger than 2x, 2.33x. And we 4 bet to $20 from the small blind. I could have just called right here and tried to get the open raiser to get in this pot as well, but we would have given him a very good price on this one. And I didn't really want to do that. I'd rather just get in a hand with this player who could be 3 betting a very wide range. So the cutoff does fold and the button jams all in. We make a call for the extra 535 and we see that we are up against ace 10. Great spot to be in with the pocket kings. We take away one of his outs with the ace of hearts with 3 hearts on the flop, and he misses, and we take down this pot of over $50, adding to the win total, which wound up being about $175 on the session. Makes up for those shitty sessions that I had. I had 4 losing sessions in a row before that. Let's take a look at some of the hands from today. No giant pots of over $200 today, but we did have a solid win rate. Biggest hand of the day came with this one. We have 8-4 offsuit on the button. We're playing heads up though, and we're playing against a player who doesn't have that great of numbers, doesn't play a lot of heads up, and I think we can take advantage of this type of player and pretty much play a wide range from the button and be profitable. And we're really going to be profitable when we're flapping trips. This player leads out for 2/3 of the pot. I'm just calling here to conceal the value of our hand. There's now 1360 in the pot, and this player leads out again for 873. Now I think there's a chance that this player could also have an 8 in his hand, but I still don't want to give away our value quite yet if this player does have a strong hand. So I just make a call, and now he checks back. Now I know we're good with our trip 8s, and I'm going to try to put in a bet size that a pair or a strong hand that he was betting 2/3 the whole way until the river would call with on the river, and I decide a little bit over $20. It's about 2/3 of the pot, and this player can't get away from it, and we show down trip 8s, and we take down a pot of over $70 with 8-4 offsuit. Great starting hand right there. Now we're at a full 100 NL table. Under the gun +1 raises to $2. We have pocket kings in under the gun +2, and we 3 bet to 7. Folds around to under the gun +1, who calls, and the flop is 5 high rainbow, 2 3s on the board, 1550 in the pot, and I bet almost 2/3 of the pot, $9 here, and this player calls. The turn is a 7. I figure this player probably has a pair higher than the board, or possibly calling down with ace king, ace queen. So I'm going to try to put in bet sizing that would allow for us to get a jam in on the river so that we can get value from the pairs less than the kings. I bet 19, and this player calls. There's 7150 in the pot. That leaves just less than the pot size in this player's stack, and we should be able to jam on the river here and get this player to commit his entire stack. He checks, we jam, and this player does find the fold button. I can't believe he would be calling the whole way and then fold on the river. Maybe he did have a hand like ace king, ace queen, and just decided to chase until the river. It was an interesting play. This player committed most of his stack and then somehow found the fold, but we'll take it. We take down a pot of over $71 with the pocket kings right there. Still at the 100 NL, and we have pocket kings again. This time we're in the cutoff. We have a limp from under the gun, and we are isolating here to 5x, and this player calls. This is most likely a recreational player with an 11 pre-flop raise, 59% VPIP, so this player is playing a very wide range, doesn't bet much post-flop, and has decent fold numbers post-flop. Gotta love this player's name though, no fold button. He's sticking to it too. So he checks into us, and we bet $7 on the flop of jack high, 2-tone. There are 2 clubs on the board. We have the backdoor club draw, and this player calls. The turn is a 7 of hearts, If this player was playing 9-10, they got there. So if we get check raised right here, I think we could get rid of this hand with this player's low aggression frequency. But I think we are good against the majority of this player's range. So I continue to bet on the turn of $15, and this player calls. The river is a queen. All the draws missed, so we're not going to get much value from the draws. I don't really know how this player plays. I think there's a possibility this player could have 2-pair. I probably could get more value here on the river, and maybe I should have. But without much info, only 37 hands, and we have showdown value and questionable betting value, I just check. And now when I look back, I think this one could have been a mistake. I probably should have gotten value by betting here on the river. It really doesn't hurt us, though, to just check. What do you guys think about this one? If you guys think I should have bet, let me know in the comments section below. It's pretty easy for me to look back now and say that I should have bet and I could have gotten value, and it's always easy to get value from fishy type players like this. But either way, we take down a pot of over $52 with the Pocket Kings, and that is how our last 2 sessions went. We got in a lot of good spots. We were actually even running negative variance. So that means we were making really good decisions, getting the money in great spots, and we could have even won more and should win more in the long run if we continue to play sessions like that. Current bankroll is $2,255.47. Moving up, we have 8,600 in the combat points, which is pretty much an extra $86, and we are getting close to hit the next Medal of Achievement for $100. So that bankroll is getting up there, moving up. That's what we gotta do. Slowly making our way to 100K. If you guys have not hit that subscribe button, make sure you do that right now so you don't miss out on any of the future poker action. Head down to the video description for links to America's Card Room, as well as all of the other poker products that I use, including Hold'em Manager, where we reviewed these last 2 sessions. Click that like button if you guys enjoyed this video. Share this video and channel with any of your poker friends who might also be interested. Love to add to this community and have as many poker players learning as much about the game and about the software and improving as a community so that we can all have fun together out there. Be back with a new video very soon, but until then, I'll see you guys out on the virtual felt.